because what they do is they put you in a steel cage and you take pictures and you're a tourist. And he said, Richard Gere did it. I said, you know what? Richard Gere leads a safe life. Dragon, I put my brain cells on the line in my job and I'm done with that stuff. Yeah, so if you want to go around and just say, well, do you dance chicken of sharks? Yes. I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
I'm from Florida. When those it's like this. Should we get a piece of red, rare meat, go to a zoo, go up to the lions before they've been fed? And say, I mean, no. And that's what it is. Me sitting in that shark cage with them. Yeah. They give me a camera to take pictures of them. Yeah, we're just torturing the sharks. And hey, I saw Jaws, man. Jaws. Didn't they bring that? A guy went down. Yeah. They brought it up. And it had a hole in it, and the guy was gone. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. James Cameron, maybe he made that, or not James Cameron. Spielberg made that.
Yeah.
But maybe he made that up because the shark cages are supposed to be protecting you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, tourists go down there, and it's a certain time of year. The mating of the whales or something. You go in there, and you put it on video. I'm dragons too scared. When there's sharks,
okay, I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off.
No, I stay out of the water.
Okay.
I don't go in the water when there's sharks. Yeah, but in other countries they think Hollywood actors are all the same. It's not. Matter of fact, I don't consider myself an actor. I'm a kickboxer who does action movies. Yeah. There's kind of a difference. I'm not a character actor. You don't see me as different characters in movies. I'm pretty much. I know I have played different characters, and I try to give the directors what they want.
I remember seeing you on an episode of Moesha.
Yes, they asked me.
Yeah.
Did you notice who I was playing, though?
Yourself.
Right. I've been asked, when Chuck Norris called me up, he goes, Don, I want you to be in Walker. I'm ending the series after 8 years. I want you to be in it before I end it. I go, great. Send me the script. I'll do the best I can. Chuck, he starts laughing. He goes, Don, you're playing Don the Dragon Wilson. He goes, when you get here, I'll just tell you what to say. I said, oh, okay. Well, that's the character I know pretty good. I could say this. If there was an Academy Award nomination for playing the dragon, I could get it. I could do that. But that's been my TV. I've done TVs and usually I play myself.
Right.
I've done some movies where I played myself as well. There's a movie, a kids movie called Magic Kid.
Okay.
And it's about a young kid in LA who goes to the movie sets to meet Don the Dragon Wilson. He's a martial artist kid.
Okay.
And so I played myself. And I used to joke and I said, well, they just don't trust my acting. So they just said, well, he's got to be able to play himself. So we get him in the movie, get his name in there, we get a little action, and then he doesn't have to stretch. Because playing Don the Dragon Wilson is no stretch.
Wait, that was martial arts kid?
The martial art kid?
Yeah.
No. Magic Kid.
Oh, okay.
Magic Kid, I played myself. Although the martial art kid, was pretty comfortable because me and Cynthia were husband and wife in it. We're good friends.
Yeah.
We're not husband and wife. As some people think, we've appeared in a lot of movies together.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know. We have the same agent.
Oh,
so it's
that's
an easy
why.
deal to make. Right. It's easy. And sometimes let me see. Always she was my love interest, actually. Yeah. Oh, no. I did a movie called White Tiger in Thailand. We fought to the death.
Oh.
Yes, White Tiger. Death Fighter.
Okay.
It was named White Tiger when I did it, but then Sony bought it, and they said, it's not about tigers.
Right.
So it's about two people fighting to the death.
Yeah.
So he changed the name of the movie to Death Fighter. And that was done by Sony. And you know what? The truth is, they're right. Because you see Don Wilson in the movie, White Tiger. You have no idea what it's about. You think maybe it's about a zoo or something. Maybe my pet, I have a pet or something called the White Tiger. But you see Don Wilson, Death Fighter.
Yeah.
You know there's going to be some action, right?
Right.
There's going to be some martial arts. And it's not PG-13 action when it's death.
Yeah.
Fighting to the death is what it insinuates. And I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but Cynthia Rothrock fans will not be happy when they see it. But it's you know what? It is a weird way she dies, though. It is really weird.
You're going to let us know if she died.
What's that?
I said you're going to let us know if she dies.
Spoiler alert! Yeah. Spoiler alert! When we fight, well, she's the bad person in the movie, though. So she was playing the bad guy's bodyguard.
Okay. Well, then she deserves to die.
Yeah, she should die. Her character.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, look, Black Creek. Dragon bites the bullet in the black. I know. I'm sure.
Her revenge on you.
But Dragon fans will not be happy when they see it. Let's put it that way. It's like I said with Cynthia.
Okay.
Cynthia Rothrock, yeah, but Black Creek is a really good movie, dramatic movie. Cynthia Rothrock's a star.
Can you tell us who you fight, just besides her?
Keith.
Vitali?
No.
You cook. Okay.
Well, it's really a Japanese name, Hirobashi or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's really,
We were talking to
but
him
then
about it.
I think
Yeah.
he changed his name, but it doesn't really make sense because when I got to LA, my publicist said I need to change Don Wilson into some Don Hirobashi. There was something that looks Asian, right? Because then your name kind of is your calling card. They know who you are but Don Wilson, he said, there's only one Don Wilson. It was worked for Jack Benny.
Right.
He was a kind of announcer.
The announcer, yeah,
And he
Don
said,
Wilson.
You don't look like that. In other words, John Wilson in Hollywood, when I went there in '85, was nothing martial art oriented. So what I did is I just added the dragon. I just, they call my fight name, my ring name is called the Dragon. They go, oh, that's great. So I go, Don the Dragon Wilson. Became my SAG name.
Yeah.
Because there is a Don Wilson in SAG.
Yeah.
And SAG is not allowed to
can't
use the
have the
same
same
name.
name.
Right.
Because then you get the residuals.
Oh.
It pops up in the credits.
much confusion.
Right.
Yeah.
But that guy that worked for Jack Benny, he ain't Don the Dragon Wilson. He's not getting any of my checks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas.
Oh,
And he had to
okay.
change it to Michael Keaton.
Yes,
So,
so it's not an ego thing. Like,
Right.
I don't like the song of Douglas. But look, when Arnold started the entertainment business instead of bodybuilding, they said, well, the first thing you got to do is change your name. Because Schwarzenegger just is not going to make it in America. They want something like Arnold Strong or Arnold, some fake action kind of name. Because that's
Right.
what he was going to do. And Arnold said, no. He said, I made this famous worldwide through my bodybuilding. So you'd lose all that fame. They'd be Arnold nothing.
Yeah.
And my Don Wilson was known also. I fought all over the world as a kickboxer. So I want to keep the dragon in it, which was all my fight name, my ring name.
Yeah.
So then it helped me.
Yeah.
My first movie,
You're
Blood
built-in-
Fist, was in the
built-in
top
fans.
100 of all independent films.
Yeah.
Theatrical, domestic in America. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite movie of?
Red Sun Rising, probably.
That's a great
It was
one.
an HBO world premiere. My manager produced it.
right.
Art Camacho?
Art Camacho was the choreographer.
Okay.
So he choreographed the fight scene. So if
Who
you
was
like,
the Van Damme look-alike that you beat up in the film? Because there's a scene where
That's
he
exactly what they did. And then, he doesn't say it in his name, JCVD lookalike.
Right.
But I was trying to get out of the building, and they found that guy. I don't know where they found him, and he's a real nice guy. And
I was laughing so hard when I
Yeah,
rented
yeah,
it
yeah.
and saw that scene. I was like, oh, I know what this
You
is
know
named
what? I'm
after.
going to tell the producer of it that it got. I said, "You're right." A guy actually saw it and said, "Oh," because we couldn't say his name,
Right.
Because I believe it's like Van Damme. I bet he's beating up some Asian guys in his movies. I don't know. I haven't seen every movie, but he didn't say, I'm beating up the dragon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't. They may look like me to other people, but I don't know if you can do that to actors.
Right.
Get somebody who looks similar to them, call them that name in a movie, and beat them up.
Right.
I'm not sure. I might have been looking at a lawsuit if I did that.
Right.
But the way it was, yeah, it was good. But the good thing is, you saw it and saw, hey, he's a Van Damme looking like the body. He was short.
And he was doing the poses and
Yes.
yeah, he was doing the kick posing. I think you just knocked him out. I remember getting a belly laugh out of that because I just rented it the night before, watched it that morning, and I was just cracking up.
Well, I'm going to tell the guy who produced it, Paul Mass, he was my personal manager.
Okay.
Here's Hollywood for you, though. He made so much money on that movie, much more than he made as my manager.
Right.
That he said, "Don, I don't have really time to be your manager anymore." We parted our ways on Red Sun Rising, not because it bombed, because it was such a success.
Right.
If it had done a little worse, he might have still needed that dragon personal manager fee.
Right.
But no, he said, "No, I'm a producer now," which he did. Would go on to produce movies and things.
Right.
But in Hollywood, my best friend was Chris Penn. He said, "Look, we all want to help each other, but we don't want to help a person and it hurts our career."
Right.
And I don't want Chris to help me if it hurts his career.
Yeah.
We all know the career has to come first, and then we'll help each other if we can.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was with Paul. In the beginning, he needed to work with me and get the contacts and everything. And then when he produced Red Sun Rising and it was a success, he actually produced several more films. We're all at the age now, though, my real career was 90s.
Right.
90s. Late 80s is when I did 88 I did Blood Fist.
Yeah.
But 90s, I would do up to 5 movies a year. which, according to Entertainment Weekly, it's like a Hollywood first.
Right.
All in the same genre, all successful. Now,
And were they all at the same time, or like each movie?
no, I
was
shot
two?
them all different times, but they were in 1 year. They were
Yeah.
shot,
So-
and they were released in 1 year. 5
Yeah.
movies. First of all, in the box office, you can't get people to come out of their houses 5 times in 1 year. Generally, it's never been done. But I was a video star. Videos never existed before, right?
Yeah.
Till the 80s. And they were big in my time, man. I would go to Blockbuster Videos. In fact, when my movies came out, I would be done shooting, but I had to spend a month to promote them. Because they don't buy ads and stuff, because you're selling them to video distribution companies
yeah,
like Blockbuster,
retail,
what was it called? Hollywood Video.
Yep.
They're big ones. And I would go to their offices, talk to the salespeople. Then I would go to individual in-store signings and promote them.
Right.
So the actual work of independent films would be the pre-production, setting it up, shooting the movie, and then publicizing it. And then you go on to the next movie. Same thing. I did 5 movies. It wasn't 1 year, but Entertainment Weekly wrote it, but it was actually 13 months. That's pretty close though, right?
Yeah.
5 shot and released in 13 months. All moneymakers.
Yeah.
All moneymakers. Yeah.
That's like 2.5 months per movie. Yeah.
Well, from beginning to end.
Yeah.
To pre-plan it, write script,
Yeah.
produce it, then post-production. Look, Cynthia's movie is done shooting for a while. It's editing, music, and then the CGI is a big thing now.
Yeah.
Like she's saying, she was a little upset, but I said, look, even my movies, it doesn't. There'd be like a light kind of in the frame, but what they do is when they get a high def image, they just go closer on it. They get a guy in the editing room. I don't know if it's a CGI guy or what, but they change the image a little bit. It goes a little closer to cut out anything they want to eliminate.
Right.
She felt that, I think maybe the director should have been more on top of it or whatever, but I think, the crews we were working with are all experienced, and they do these one Western after another, and we shot it in Arizona, and I think they knew that they get the shot quick, because you get the actors there, and the horses and everything, and there may be a little thing, but you get rid of it with the computers. Mm-hmm. So they probably, I can't believe, because she was telling me there were several times they had to go in and get rid of some stuff. I don't think that's abnormal. That's probably easily acceptable mistakes for a movie production company. Post-production is real important. Mm-hmm. And I go in only for the editing, like some actors, I'm not gonna name any names. They go in and they go, like a shot on you and shot on me, and they go into my close-up. They go, I want to go, hold on my close-up. He goes, well, no, that line really has a lot. When he says it, he gives a look, and you can tell he's not happy. But actors want their close-ups, all the camera, more camera time. I'm just the opposite. I just want good actors, and I want whoever's the good. If I'm the best actor on the set, we're going to have a problem with the movie. Let's put it that way. But if you hire Michael Ironside, you want to show him.
Yeah.
When you have James Russo, Chris Penn, my friend, he's done several movies with me. When you got good actors who are well known, I want them to get it. I'm not trying to steal the camera from them. Yeah. I hired them, and they agreed. And you got to think about the project. And I think the reason why I started. My first film is 1982. It was a Hong Kong movie. Mm-hmm. But when I turned professional in '88, when I started a movie, from '88 till today.
Wait, what movie was that?
New York Chinatown, it's called.
Oh, okay.
Hong Kong movie.
I've heard
Never
that.
done it in English, though.
Yeah.
But I believe it's on YouTube somewhere. It's New York Chinatown, though.
I've heard that movie.
I'm not the star. I'm the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
And I died in my first movie. I got machine gun, killed. A bunch of shots, like 5 or 6 shots. Well, the Hong Kong style back then, in the early 80s, was over the top.
Yeah.
Well, you don't shoot them one time, you shoot them 20 times.
Yeah.
And then when you move, you don't just go, and go down. You go, you're still up and the squids are going like this. Yeah, it was that days, and I had a lot of fun. I was 6 weeks in New York City, right on Mott Street, which is in between Chinatown and Little Italy. Little Italy. We shot it right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get a fight scene with great sound effects?
There was a fight scene in a kung fu school where they had a well-known New York Chinese fighter, and it was it was a Chinese movie.
Right.
So
Right.
it's their style, you know, everything is so perfect and clean and cut. It's not the way I did my movies. My movies in America, I wanted them to look more realistic. And they look sloppier realistic, but real fighting is sloppy.
Yeah.
We don't always, everything's not perfectly choreographed.
Right. Yeah.
And so that fight scene was kind of like, to me, it looked like it was choreographed. Mm-hmm. And it was choreographed, but it looked like it. Oh, here's one thing they did, which I don't do this in my movies. They tied a rope on my back, put a like harness on me.
Right.
Then they put oil on the floor, and I get kicked or punched, and I hit the ground, and then they pull me with the rope, and I go sliding like 20 feet. On the ground though. Like he kicked me, and I go down, yeah, and to me, it's comedic. To me, that's a comedy. But to them, it's like bigger action. It doesn't look violent enough. So they said, okay, what we need to do is pull him, and he's just slide 20 feet. Mm-hmm. But nobody slides on the ground 20 feet. You hit the ground, you stop right where your butt lands.
Yeah.
But I land on my butt, and then somebody's pulling that thing, and then they go back and they erase the cable on me.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. I was not the star. My very first movie was not Blood Fist. My very first movie was New York Chinatown.
Okay.
And the star of it was Alan Tang.
I know
I've heard of him.
Alan
Yeah.
Tang.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of movies in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
All Hong Kong. He produced that when he started. He was the good guy.
Yeah.
And I was the bad guy. I was a New York City cop, a dirty one.
Yeah.
Which probably the Hong Kong audience liked.
Right.
The New York, and that was my first.
Were there any other movies where you played a bad guy? Batman Returns.
Batman, I was the gang leader.
Yeah.
Fight scene with Robin.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize you when I saw it because your face was glowing.
I picked that skull face.
Yeah.
What they had was a bunch of designs you could have. Then I said, well, how can people say, oh, you're in Batman. Which one were you? So I said, you know what? I asked them, can you do a skull face? And they go, yeah, we can do one. And then the head of the makeup department, V. Neal is her name. She won the Oscar that year, by the way.
Yeah.
But not for Batman, for a different movie.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, but Don, it's not going to be clean and perfect. You are a gangster guy. You did it with your own fingers. It's just going to be like smeared. No, it was supposed to look raggedy looking, kind of. And then they made my hands like skull hands or whatever.
Yeah. And
that scene appears in Batman Forever for 30 seconds. It took them 4 days to shoot it. 4 days. They hired 40 stuntmen. They shot all 40 coming down one wall. There's three walls. So basically, they turned 40 people into 130 people or 120 people.
Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So they cut all of it out. So you just see 2 or 3 of them at a time. In other words, I don't know. Warner Bros. Knows what they're doing, right? So they hired 40 stuntmen, paid them for 4 days each, but they're burning all that money up. I mean, they had to spend $100 million on the movie. They had a 90-day shoot, so they're spending $1 million a day.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't know, but we don't do that in my films. In my films, every penny goes on the screen.
Right.
If we have a budget, every penny goes on the screen. But Warner Brothers, to me, that was wasteful.
Yeah.
You know, I was not asked to be a producer. I just asked to come on, play a bad guy, do the fight, and Robin beats me up. Chris O'Donnell, great guy, real nice guy. He had 2 stunt doubles.
Uh-huh.
He had a gymnast named Mitch Gaylord, who was an Olympic gymnast. He was his gymnast, his stunt double. And then he had a martial artist who did anything martial arts oriented. If he had to throw a kick or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, Chris O'Donnell had 3 stunt doubles, but he did everything. But then I'm sure they intercut when it didn't look right. You know, he threw the kicks and he threw the sweeps and sweeps and punches. But I myself, even watching it, I'm not sure which. Well, no, I know it was Mitch. If you see him flipping, that's the Olympic gold medal flipping. That's nothing against what's his name?
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell. He's a great guy. You know what? He was going to college at the same time they were shooting that.
Oh.
Yeah, he was going to Pepperdine, getting a degree in whatever he was majoring in.
No sleep.
He was going to college and working. Well, I'm sure he worked it around his schedule. Look, he was not in every scene in Batman. Forever.
Yeah.
So he had a certain amount of times, and I don't know, I guess maybe he planned it or whatever, but he was also going to Pepperdine University, which is right on the ocean in LA.
Yeah.
And I guess you can do that because, the big studio films, you're not working every day. Some of my movies, I've worked every day of the movie.
That's because you were the star. In most
I'm the
of
star, and also we only got a certain number of days to make these movies.
Well, and if
Yeah.
you're a small film,
You gotta hurry
you're
up and
also
low
the
budget.
PA, you're also the grip. You're
Well,
also the film crew.
and also,
Yeah.
film is different. 35 millimeter,
Yep.
different than high def video.
Yeah.
And high def video moves fast. It's quick. If I shoot a kick and I think it's going to look like I missed, and he goes, "Oh well, let's just see." And they rewind it. He goes, "No, that looks like you hit him. Let's move on." Now you couldn't do that. We had what we call dailies. The next day at lunchtime, we could see whether the kick looked good. We could go back and we go, "Oh shit, we got to go back and shoot another one."
Yeah.
No, but what they would really do is the director would do 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Just to make sure one of them looks like a hit. Now imagine every kick, every punch, every elbow, we got to do 3 or 4 of them because we're not positive. Now we don't. We do one take. If it looks good, boom, we move on.
Right.
Yeah, movies can look better, be shot a little cheaper and faster today than 35 millimeter.
Right.
Yeah.
The high def. I'm probably one of the last guys to give up the film because I shot a movie for the Sci-Fi Channel in 2007 called The Last Sentinel. It's shot on Super 16. Some of it was 35 millimeter. The big shots, you always want that. You want the biggest.
Right.
And we shot at Universal Studios. So Universal Street. Matter of fact, I was the last film company to use Universal Street before they tore it down and redid it.
Wow.
Well, we accidentally we blew up a bunch of stuff we weren't supposed to blow up. So no, some people as a joke were saying, "Hey, because of Don, they had to redo a whole Universal." No, but here's what happened: we had an explosion. It's supposed to blow the doors off of one of the buildings, but the buildings next to it, all their windows went.
Wow.
And literally $20,000 worth of windows, because the producer said, "Look, if I report it to the insurance company, it's going to end up costing me more money. You get insurance all the time because it's better, cheaper, faster, everything. I'll just cut a check and pay for those windows," which is what he did. Yeah, they were not supposed to break out, but the windows next to the building. So if you ever watch the movie The Last Sentinel, you see a building blow up. Just remember, both on either side, those windows went with them. Yeah, we're supposed to.
You destroyed the Back to the Future town
It's my
center.
fault. They had to tear down Universal Studios. No. I didn't.
You destroyed the Leave It to Beaver neighborhood.
Well, actually, one of the ways we got Universal, because we're lower budget independent films, is we told them we're only going to shoot action there. Car chases, shootouts, explosions, vans blowing up and stuff. So what they did was they got from the line producer the schedule of when our action is going to take place. And what they did is Universal Studios has a theme park. They would bring on all the tourists, the special ones, just to watch an actual action scene being filmed at Universal.
Right.
And we became part of the show. they should have been paying us because they got like all these tourists, they're taking pictures and everything. Yeah, we became part of the show. The action scenes were, because normally lower budget can't rent Universal Studios as a set.
Yeah.
It's expensive,
Yeah.
They built it for themselves,
Yeah.
so they didn't have to go rent city streets somewhere.
Right.
They could just shoot at Universal. And
that's smart.
yeah,
they make
that's
money.
right,
Charge
very
money
smart.
to
Well, I
to
think
watch.
all of them do that. I bet Warner Brothers has got their own New York. They call it New York Street, but it's a place for any kind of city you want. And it's a big street with intersections and stuff. And the dragon did not tear it up. Because right afterwards they renovated it. It needed to be. Not because of me, but they needed to update it because it didn't look like New York today, I guess.
Yeah.
It was made back in whenever, and they needed to
That's
renovate.
probably 1930s. That's probably the 1930s.
Originally, but I would think they would do. The exteriors of it, they can change that pretty easy. It's made out of wood,
Right.
And they paint it, and I think it had been updated. It didn't look. It couldn't possibly be used for today, and
Right.
it was made in 1930s. But they probably sometimes have to redress it and make it look older.
Right, because they have that they built it in probably the 1920s, the European town
Yep,
set
yep.
that's
Something
in
like
all the Universal monster movies,
See,
Frankenstein.
it's different things. You point the cameras one way, it looks like New York City today.
Right.
You point it this way, it looks like 1800s. And in other words, they have different, and they had houses like that too. And we shot a movie called Redemption, and they had houses on the same street that looked like mansions in Beverly Hills. But our scene takes place in like South Central. It's a gangster drug buy, a crack place or something. And so they point the camera this way, it's Beverly Hills, and then they point it this way, it's my scene. We're in Watts or something. Yes, that's how they do it. And this, we shot the whole scene there. Hey, well, I probably should go up to my table.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, I'll turn this off. Let's go upstairs.